I don't do my stand-up comedy every year. I do stand-up comedy when I have a set I know can last me an hour to satisfy my audience.
Right.
So I've never really done every year, apart from 2013 and 2014.
Right.
And I did 2013 and 2014 because I had been doing stand-up comedy from 2008 to 2013, 5 years. And my friends would be like, oh, you should do your show, we'll come and support you. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do those kind of shows. I want to do shows like an album. I want to do it the way the Americans do it, you know? So I'm like, now I'm in rotation with you guys, but the truth is when I'm doing my show, it's going to be a special one-man stand-up show. Yes. So 5 years later, I had enough material. So I did 2013, there was still more materials I did 2014. In 2015, Cecil Hammond goes, what date are we doing this year? I'm like, no, I'm not doing this year. What? Do you see how much we made from that? I'm like, I'm not doing this year.
Yeah.
Okay, 2016, I was ready to do 2016. We had the date issue. We didn't do then. 2017, I'm like, then we did 2017. 2018 is like, I'm not doing this year. Rather, I used that year to go on tour around the world. 2019, I did again. 2020, I didn't do. 21, I didn't do. Then 22, I did.
Right. It just feels to us that, to me, that you do
like
it every year.
No, absolutely not.
Right. That's amazing. Also, because, you know, when you start doing, and I maybe I'm not informed enough, when you start doing sets, because I do remember, even before we had become friends, your show, no offense to anybody, was the show that I attended and paid the money twice. Not media partnership.
Right. You counted.
I counted the money and paid because, and without being conscious, I think I went to the first tour with a friend.
Right.
And I said, hey, this is how it's
how
supposed
it
to
should be. Right.
Then when the second one was so the first one I think a friend paid for it. The second one was announced.
Right.
I paid for it myself because I remember the experience of the first one.
Right.
And now that I'm thinking of it, without noticing, it was the fact that it was a
set. Absolutely.
Everything it wasn't scatter.
Right.
And I thought, when I came out of it, I felt that I just had a 3-course
meal.
Yes.
Stand-up comedy is such an individualistic art form, right? Kudos to the comedians who do their shows and feature everybody because they are the promoters of those shows. And it's hard. When they kept saying, I kept telling people, the first show I ever did in my life as the promoter was this year. On my own.
Well, this one you promoted.
This was strictly me, right?
Okay.
Previous years, I tell them, it's hard to be, being a promoter is an art form on its own. It's a talent on its own. By the time you as a comedian is the one planning your show, when you get on stage, the jokes have gone. That's what gave birth to, okay, I will feature this. So they end up just being MCs of their show. Yeah. It's not because they are not funny. It's because they have to make economic sense. They need to make money. So for the most years I was doing with Flight Time Promotions, with Cecil, I was not greedy because I know he was spending money to plan the show. So I'm like, okay, this is how much you are giving me. He says, yes, this is how much you can afford, this and that, you know. 1 year, Cecil, I think it was the second year, he was like, okay, any table I sell, I take 50%. When he saw the number of tables I was selling, he said, stop, you are making too much money than me. So I stopped. Right. And then by 2019, I'm like, this is how much you are paying me, take it or leave it.
Right.
He's like, why? Why the jump? I said,
the brand has jumped.
You do Redeem Unplugged, featuring over 20-something comedians and musicians in this hall, and you pay everybody. You have done me 3 times, featuring just me and a few opening acts that were actually helping their career, because we don't use the opening acts to promote the show. And the hall still fills up at the same price. Give me that money that you give to many other artists.
And let's deliver the same results. Yes.
So 2019, I told him 60 million. He was shocked. He was like, I said, or no deal.
Or no deal.
And he says, okay, no problem.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that boldness, you know, I mean, one must do life with a certain boldness.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if not, it's not worth doing, or you won't even do big things. Yeah.
Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. You know, so you may know it all, but if you don't attempt, that person who is, you know what, like, I mean, There's always a way.
There's always a way.